Today our topic is the philosophy of Epictetus. In one video, Epictetus was a Stoic philosopher who lived a long time ago, but his ideas are still very useful today. He taught people how to live a good life, even when things are difficult. His main idea is that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. This is a very powerful idea, because it means that no matter what happens, we always have a choice in how we respond. Let me explain this in more detail. Epictetus said that there are two types of things in life: things we can control and things we cannot control. Things we can control are our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Things we cannot control are what other people do, the weather, or whether we get sick. The key to happiness, according to Epictetus, is to focus on what we can control and not worry too much about what we cannot control. This is not always easy, but it is very important. For example, if someone is rude to you, you cannot control their behavior, but you can control how you react. You can choose to stay calm and not let their rudeness affect you. This is a very practical way to live, because it helps you stay peaceful even when things are not going well. Another important idea from Epictetus is that we should not be too attached to things that can be taken away from us. This includes money, possessions, and even other people. He said that if we are too attached to these things, we will suffer when we lose them. Instead, we should focus on things that cannot be taken away, like our character and our ability to think clearly. This does not mean that we should not enjoy life or have nice things, but we should not depend on them for our happiness. Epictetus also believed that we should accept whatever happens in life as if we had chosen it ourselves. This is a difficult idea, but it can help us deal with hard times. For example, if you lose your job, instead of being angry or sad, you can accept it and see it as an opportunity to find something better. This does not mean that you have to like what happened, but it means that you can choose to make the best of it. This way of thinking can help you stay strong and positive, even when life is tough. Another lesson from Epictetus is that we should not compare ourselves to others. He said that everyone has their own path in life, and we should focus on being the best version of ourselves, not on trying to be better than someone else. This is important because comparing ourselves to others can make us feel bad about ourselves, even if we are doing well. Instead, we should focus on our own progress and try to improve ourselves every day. Epictetus also taught that we should not be afraid of difficulties or challenges. He said that challenges are a necessary part of life, and that they help us grow stronger. For example, if you are learning something new and it is hard, you should not give up. Instead, you should see it as an opportunity to become better. This is a very positive way to look at life because it helps us see the value in hard work and persistence. One of the most famous quotes from Epictetus is, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that we cannot always control what happens in life, but we can always control our response. This is a very empowering idea because it means that we always have the power to choose our attitude and our actions. For example, if you are stuck in traffic, you can choose to be angry and frustrated, or you can choose to stay calm and make the best of the situation. This choice is always yours, and it can make a big difference in how you feel. Epictetus also believed that we should not waste time complaining about things we cannot change. He said that complaining does not solve anything and only makes us feel worse. Instead, we should focus on what we can do to improve the situation. For example, if you are unhappy with your job, instead of complaining, you can start looking for a new one or try to improve your skills. This is a much more productive way to deal with problems. Another important idea from Epictetus is that we should be grateful for what we have. He said that we often take things for granted and do not appreciate them until they are gone. For example, we might not appreciate our health until we get sick, or we might not appreciate our friends until they are no longer around. Epictetus said that we should be grateful for what we have every day, and not wait until it is too late. This can help us feel happier and more content with our lives. Epictetus also taught that we should not be afraid of death. He said that death is a natural part of life, and that we should not waste our time worrying about it. Instead, we should focus on living a good life and doing what is right. This does not mean that we should not take care of ourselves, but it means that we should not let the fear of death control us. This is a very freeing idea because it helps us focus on what is really important in life. Another lesson from Epictetus is that we should not let our emotions control us. He said that emotions are natural, but we should not let them take over our actions. For example, if you are angry, you should not act on that anger in a way that hurts others. Instead, you should take a moment to calm down and think about the best way to respond. This is a very important skill because it helps us make better decisions and avoid unnecessary problems. Epictetus also believed that we should be honest and truthful in all that we do. He said that honesty is very important because it helps us build trust with others and live with integrity. This means that we should always try to do the right thing, even when it is hard. For example, if you make a mistake, you should admit it and try to fix it rather than trying to hide it. This is a very important value because it helps us live with dignity and respect. Finally, Epictetus taught that we should always be learning and growing. He said that life is a journey, and we should always be trying to become better people. This means that we should be open to new ideas and willing to change when we need to. For example, if you realize that you have been wrong about something, you should be willing to admit it and learn from it. This is a very humble and wise way to live because it helps us grow and improve throughout our lives. In conclusion, the philosophy of Epictetus is very practical and useful for everyday life. His ideas can help us stay calm, focused, and positive, even when things are difficult. By focusing on what we can control, accepting what we cannot control, and always trying to improve ourselves, we can live a good and meaningful life. These lessons are not always easy to follow, but they are worth the effort because they can help us find peace and happiness, no matter what happens. So, next time you face a challenge, remember the wisdom of Epictetus and choose to respond with strength and grace. This is the way to live a life of purpose and joy.